Hello guys, in this section I want to talk about function types. In the previous section I talked about the function, how we can define them, and in this section I want to talk about the types that we have in the functions. So let's go and jump on the first one. The first type that I want to talk about is built-in function. It means the functions that define with Python and we won't need any definition and we can just use them. Like print, we use it many times. If you hover the mouse on the print now, here you can see it's a function. For example, another one is len to get the length of, for example, hello or any other things. Let me just simply print this out also, and as we can see here, let me run it, and we can have this hello and 5 here. Okay, so built-in function, it means the function that defined in the Python and we won't need to define and we just able to use them. Okay, let's jump on user defined function. Some functions that they're real simple and I talked about them in the last section. For example, my function, and it will get the names and it will, for example, simply return the name. It's a user defined function. It's something that we are defining. Okay. We have also lambda function. It will some kind of user defined function, all of these. The lambda function is something that we can use it simply, and we just can handle that in just one line. So let's go and have add as a variable. We should use lambda keyword at first, and after that, after the lambda keyword, we will have the arguments and expression that we want to handle. So we have a limitation here. What is that? We can use as many as argument that we want, but the expression should be one. So we want to handle add function. We can say x and y will be the input and the output is x plus y. We can have as many as arguments that we want, but the expression should be one. Okay, and how we can use this? Print, for example, add 3 and 4 together. Okay, let's see what is the output. It's 7. We define the function, lambda function, in just one line. So let's jump on a recursive function. This function is very important, especially for who want to work on AI, artificial intelligence, and math. Let's go and let's see what will happen. I talked about factorial in the previous sections. I want to handle and write a factorial function with these recursive functions. What is factorial? Let me quickly talk about that if you didn't watch previous videos. 4 factorial means 4 multiplied by 3, by 2, and by 1. This is the 4 factorial, and it will be equal to 24, I think. Yeah. So we can simply handle that with this recursive function. For example, we have factorial, something like this, and we will get n as an input, an argument, and we will handle that with a simple if statement. If n equal to 1, please return 1 for us, else please return n multiplied by factorial n minus 1. What is that? This factorial will recall the function. We are calling our function inside of itself. So how it will execute? Let's go and let's trace this. What am I mean by trace? It means go through the codes by a specific sample and see what will happen. Let's at first call that. I will just print factorial 4 here, and let's see what will happen in our output. We have 24. Okay, let's trace that and let's see how it works. So it will start with the 4 as an input here. It will goes here in line 17, and after that check this condition. This one is false because n is 4, not 1, and 4 is not equal to 1. It will goes to else block and will execute this part, and it will return this. What is that? Let me copy and paste it here. The n is 4 right now, and here also 4. 4 minus 1 will be 3. So it will put 4 here, multiplied by factorial 3. What is that? It will again call this function. So what will happen? It's coming here, the input is 3 right now. This condition will be false, and after that in the else statement we will have this again instead of this factorial 3. And now n is 3, and here again we have 3, and 3 minus 1 will be 2. Again it will goes here, this will be false for the 2. Here we have the else, n will be 2 here, so 2, and it will be equal, it will be multiplied by factorial n minus 1. It will be 2 minus 1, it will be 1 here. Okay, and after that it will goes to the function again, and here n is equal to 1, and it's true. It will goes here, and simply instead of this it will return 1. It's exactly the same thing that we want here and we talked about. Okay, I want to mention it again that this recursive function is very important in the AI, artificial intelligence, and into solve the series and something like that in the mathematics. Okay, let's go and let's talk about another type of function that we have, high order functions. These are the functions that take other function as an argument, and or maybe return a function as a result. Let's go and have a quick example. Let's assume that we have a list of number here. I will talk about this list and arrays, and if you want to learn more about them, just please find the link in the description, and I will talk about the arrays completely and iterable objects. Okay, so we want to identify the even numbers. How we can handle that? Let's have even numbers variable here, and we want to use filter here. Filter is a high order function that it's also predefined by the Python, and we can use that. As the first argument, it will get a function from us, and as the second one, it will gives a iterable. What is iterable? Iterable, it will be a list that filter can iterate through that, something like this. So let's put number as second object. We want to filter between these objects. We want to filter and just get the even numbers. As I said, we can have a function for the first argument, and we can simply use lambda function here to have exercise with that. We can have the x as an input, and we have this condition that identify the even numbers. Simply we have this. It will goes through and iterate through these numbers, and it will do everything that we want, and will identify the numbers that this condition is true, and if the condition for any of number will be true, it will put it in our output. Let me print it and print these even numbers, and let's see what we have. As you can see here, we have a filter object. So if we want to see what we have in the output, we can cast it as a list and change the type as a list and see what we have in the output. As you can see, we have 2, 4, 6, and 8, and these are the even numbers in this list. Okay, These are the high order functions, and for example we have filter, maps, and some others, and I will talk about them, and you can find the link in the description to learn more about these kind of functions. Okay, let's go and talk about generator functions. What is generator function? We want to iterate, we want to get as an output, iterate an object with a sequence. What am I mean? With a sequence of values. Let's define some function. Define the name of the function should be, and can be, not should be, count up to. I want to have a function that will give an argument and will count up to that. So for this purpose and goal, we should define another internal variable for that, and while count is less than or equal to maximum, just please return, for example, count for us, and after that count plus equal to 1. You know the color, you can see the color of this line 35 is gray. What is that? If I put it here before the return statement, you can see the line is, the color is usual. But if I put it after return, it's gray. It will tell us that if you are writing a code after return, it won't be executed. So we should have it here before it. But in this case, we want to have that after return, but let's see what we'll have in our output. Let's call this function with, for example, print or x equal to count up to, and we have this, for example 5, and let's print out this x. Okay, let's see what will happen. We just have 2 in our output because we didn't use any generator function. As I said, generator function will be return iterable object with sequence of values. What am I mean? Let's put it back in the after the, or maybe let's do it like that, and let's see what will happen. In the generator function, instead of the return, we should use yield. Let's go and run it, and let's see what will happen. Here, the output is saying that generator object. If we want to see what we have here, we should make a loop through the numbers that we have here. And if I write a loop for num in numbers, just please print num. Also, if you don't know about for statement and for loops, I had another video that you can find the link in the description, and you can go through that and understand what is going on in the for loops completely. So let me run that. You can see we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's okay. We have iterable. So we don't have just one number. It's something that we are looking for, but we have a bug here. We want to start from 1 to the maximum number, but here it starts from 2 and maximum number plus 1. How we can handle that? We should have this count plus equal to 1 after our yield. If you remember, if we have a return here, we are not able to put any code after that. But yield is something different, and we can have that here. And if I run that, it will be exactly something that we want. Let's go and jump on our last type of function, decorator function. Let's define a function with name my decorator, and it will be give a function as an input. Okay, and the structure of that is we should have a wrapper inside of that, and inside of this wrapper I can just print before, and after that I want to have this function to run this, and after that print after, and after all we should return this wrapper. It's something that the structure of the decorator function, that we should have a wrapper, and after that we should write the code in the blocks of wrapper that we have, and after that we should return this wrapper. So if I run this, nothing will happen. If I, for example, call this function, my decorator, we have error. What? It said we are need argument. You are missing one argument, and you should pass that to me. So let's have another function, def say underline hello, and it will just return or maybe print hello. Okay, let me run this. What will happen? Nothing, because we didn't call any of this function. Let me call this say hello function here, and if I run that, we can see the hello here. So what is decorator here? After definition of this function, I should define that we want to use this my decorator. How we can handle that? Simply with @ and the name of the decorator that we have. What will happen? Let me run this. We can see before hello, and after that this after print here. What will happen? When we are writing my decorator here, it will goes here and pass this function as an input for this. And after that it will go through the wrapper and run the lines of code. This line is printing before, this function is printing hello or any other thing that we can write here, and this function also is printing after. This line with printing after. Okay, it's something that we have for my decorator, and we should, after definition our function, we should write this line of code to then Python will identify that we have and we are using decorator here.